Hey guys, Ashley here with Real Buyer Agency and John L. Scott Bothell. Once again bringing you a monthly update on the general status of the residential real estate market for King and Snohomish counties, Washington. As we all know, recent times have been unusually turbulent across not only our local region, but most of the planet, as the COVID-19 virus has continued to spread rapidly across the globe. As a result, before we start with this month's data and analysis, I just think it's important to point out that while I believe the data in this specific report may still be deemed useful and interesting to some extent, it almost certainly is nowhere near as useful for establishing any potential hypothesis on future market outcomes as it might be under more standard market conditions. The situation in many respects right now is extremely fluid, with even the state-level rules and regulations for what is deemed as acceptable or essential business practice in the field of residential real estate seemingly being adjusted every few days. There truly are many forces and factors in play here, any of which could perhaps relatively quickly and substantially alter conditions for residential real estate markets at both the regional and the national level. All we can really do is try to improve our knowledge of what is occurring on the ground right now, what has occurred in the past, and what is likely to occur in the future. We are simply looking to get a better picture of where we are currently in order that we may extrapolate a number of likely future scenarios and place percentage likelihoods on each of those future scenarios materializing. Now, all that said, as normal, let's get started.
Okay guys, similar to last month, we're going to start this month by looking at the 30-year fixed charts by Freddie Mac for mortgage rates, just to see really what happened since it hit that all-time low at the start of March. Like I said, at the beginning of March, it was at 3.29%. And then it actually, when we went to recording, it was probably around 3.36%. And the weekend ended Thursday, March 12th. And then since that point, it jumped up to 3.65% briefly. And then since then, it's immediately come all the way back down to 3.33% is where it is right now. And it's flatlined there for 2 weeks. And we're recording this just before another one's going to be released, so be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, it seems, rates, briefly jumped up a little bit as parity with long-term treasuries was removed. They have trended back down. I'm going to guess largely just, through competitive demand here, back to almost those same all-time lows, just a little bit off that. So these rates are still super low, and we can probably really only anticipate that being a boon to real estate price points in the short term at least. Okay, moving on to the local data. Number of newly active listings. King County was 3,787, and in Snohomish County was 1,542. We're looking at the green columns here. We're looking at them from month to month. It's the blue columns compared to the green columns. King County was up from 2,969 month to month, and Snohomish County up from 1,165. A jump up month to month of 27.55% in King County and 32.36% in Snohomish County. As you can see, year over year, we're down in King County from 4,513, which was the number for newly active listings in March in 2019. And in Snohomish County, 1,623. That represents being down 8.81% in King County year over year, and in Snohomish County, 32.36%, specifically for those months. Switching over to the total active listings chart, and you can see in King County, we had 2,813 total active listings at the end of the month. This is for single-family homes, condos. And in Snohomish County, we had 1,060. Month to month, this was up in King County from 2,221 total active listings at the end of February, and in Snohomish up from 797. This represents a month-to-month increases in King County of 26.65%, and in Snohomish County, 33%. In both counties, though, for total active listings at the end of March, we're down year over year, still quite substantially. In King County, down from 4,263. That was the case at the end of March 2019. And in Snohomish County, down from 1,435. This represents a decrease in King County for the month of March year over year of 34.01%, and in Snohomish County, 26.13%. Moving on to months of inventory, we have 1.15 for King County and 0.98 for Snohomish County. Pretty flat versus the previous months in both cases, fractionally down in King County from 1.17 and fractionally up in Snohomish County from 0.93 to 0.98 there, while we're still comfortably down year over year for the month of March, down 38.17% in King County and down 24.62% in Snohomish County. It is at least good to see that the inventory didn't go down further. There was apprehensions that that would happen, particularly in Snohomish County. Just the sheer demand that was seen to be in place through the end of February meant that we would really need to see a sizable uptick in March in terms of inventory coming on, were we not to start to really run out of listings. So as it stands, the month-to-month inventory changes did at least keep up with the increases in demand. Seems like we've got a degree of parity at the moment in terms of the scaling of that. Switching over to our price graphs, here's the 13-month listing price chart. You can see that King County finished March with a median list price of $759,900, and Snohomish County was at $579,450. In King County, that's just shy of 10 grand more than the previous 2 months medians, and represents a 13-month high. Meanwhile, in Snohomish County, sellers and listing agents kept price points pretty much identical to where they'd been in February. In February, they were $580, and the median listing at the end of March was $579,450. And then switching finally to the closing sales price chart, the important one. We have $645,000 was the median closing sales price in King County, and $509,130 was the median closing sales price in Snohomish County at the end of March 2020. This is quite the jump up in average price points. You can see that for King County, that's $30,000 up from February, and which itself was $26,000 up from the end of January, and matches the high from all the 2019 that was set in May. And in Snohomish, well, the literal jump in value was a little more modest, from $494 to $509,130 in the month to month. That was actually as you can see from this chart, a 13-month high, and actually, looking back, quite possibly even an all-time high. When I look back over the last 24 months data, I can't see a single month in Snohomish County where the median closing sales price was above $500,000. And that's about as far as the current data I have on hand goes. But yeah, then I would anticipate this is possibly an all-time high, though. Don't swear to that. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, certainly this is a price point that could pique some attention right now.
So in summary, despite the arrival of COVID-19 to the region in March and all the social upheaval that came along with that, both newly active listings and total active listings were up from February in both King and Snohomish counties. Year over year, however, both new listings and total listings are still down in both counties. These facts, alongside solid pending rates, mean that while projected months of inventory levels remain extremely low, they are very similar numbers to what we saw at the end of February. In short, for March at least, we see that the arrival of the coronavirus and the difficulties operating around it did not in any way, identifiably, clearly, or dramatically, increase or decrease pressure on inventory levels in our specific market. When it comes to price points, they rose through March. While listing prices rose moderately, closing sales prices jumped up fairly substantially. The jump up in sales prices was almost certainly aided considerably by the limited inventory, alongside the historically low mortgage rates that were on offer. Also, clearly, buyer demand did not substantially wane in the face of the arrival of the coronavirus, or at least it did not lessen by any critical mass. So the big question then, how is this all going to play out moving forward? As was stated in the intro, the number of factors at play here as a result of the arrival of COVID-19 can make projecting even short-term activity quite precarious. the waters are indeed very murky right now, and perhaps the biggest question marks still lay around unemployment rates. If I personally had to make a projection right now, I would say that I anticipate continued low inventory for the foreseeable future. And thus, as long as mortgage rates remain low, a fair degree of buyer demand is likely to be sustained. In the short term, we can be confident that this means prices are likely to continue to rise a little further, or at least sustain at similar levels to present. Long term, property values tend to appreciate, and there is also currently a shortage of housing units in the Puget Sound area, particularly in the fields of mid and lower range price point properties. While the coronavirus may be hampering to some degree sales efforts for residential resales, it has almost completely stopped for the time being residential new construction. Pushing back estimated project completion times across the board means current housing stock faces less competition in both the short and the midterm. Okay guys, so that does it for the April market update. And as always, please hit the like button if you found this video useful, and subscribe to the page or the channel if you wish to be notified of similar future content moving forward. Feel free to engage or post questions in the comment section below. And also, before we finish up here, I would like to just take a brief moment to say our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who has been directly impacted in a negative manner by the coronavirus. We truly hope that you all find the support you need to get through this difficult time, and that you come at the other side both stronger and more vibrant. Okay, until next time, I hope this finds you well, guys. Stay safe out there, and with or without isolation, have a great one.